What is up, my dudes, and that one girl who's really concerned about me sustaining more brain damage, like the stuff I probably already have. This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're just doing this, we're banging them out. So let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on our Ricardo communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew and join my coffee page down below. Want to know why I'm asking you for money? Well, right next to those 5,000 Amazon links, there is also a link to tell you why I'm asking for money. It goes for a good cause. None of this stuff is kept by me. Same thing with the Amazon links if I make any sort of money off of there. So there you go. Okay guys, so let's get into today's video. Now, it shouldn't be much of a surprise being that you've clicked on this video, and I'm sure I used a thumbnail saying that we are doing the RPHA 91 review, which is under here, and I can't wait to show it to you. But just a few housekeeping things to get out of the way. I'm going to be comparing a lot of this to my HJC i90. This is actually the helmet I had for the first few years that I was moto vlogging. I'm not going to be using my Rorock as a comparison, and that's for a few different reasons. A, the Rorock is not a modular helmet, and the RPHA 91 is, the i90 is, and you know, it's just not apples to apples. So yeah, I mean, I still like my Rorock Atlas 4. I don't plan to be retiring it anytime soon, and I do plan to continue using that. That's in, you know, more videos to come, so don't expect any sort of video where I'm just trashing that thing and moving on. Not the case. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and reveal the RPHA 91. Now, the thing to know about this helmet is it is brand new for 2023. When you take it out of the box, it comes with this great helmet bag. Comfy, thick, very nice. I'm gonna put it on this Lazy Susan. Toss that away. So yeah, I got fancy on my reviews. Check this out. You can just spin this around. How awesome is that? And let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. So this is the brand new RPHA 91. It just came out for 2023. I've been actually following this for a few months now, so I'm incredibly excited that I finally got my hands on it. This is coming in titanium. Honestly, I wish they had this red color. They do not. But that's okay, because I'd like to think that my channel is based on my personality and content versus the color of my helmet. So this helmet is a 2X because that seems to be what fits me most comfortably when I'm wearing HJCs. With my Rorock Atlas 4, you know, if you're going from one helmet to the other, I'm usually wearing an extra large in that, so, you know, right there, right on the line. Alright, so first thing to know is the RPHA 91 comes in 4 different shell sizes. Now that's pretty cool because basically, for those of you unaware, shell sizes are pretty important because depending on what size you get is how much padding is put into the helmet for it to fit you. So like an extra small and a small are going to share the same shell size, except the extra small will have more padding in it and the small will have less padding in it. And they may use a different headliner that's slightly looser, slightly tighter, whatever. But that's something to be aware of. The 4 shell sizes, the thing about that is, if you wear a medium helmet, you are actually probably the person that is most in luck, because as an industry standard, helmet companies will weigh their medium helmet. So when you see the weight of a helmet, like for example, this one is listed at 3.8 pounds. When you see that measurement, it's actually based off of the medium helmet. So a smaller helmet will weigh less, and a larger helmet from the medium will weigh more. A lot of times they're doing those 4 shell sizes so they can make a shell that is just medium, so they can have the absolute optimal weight, like in, you know, size, all that fun stuff. Now this helmet comes in around $550, depending on where you are, currency exchange and all that. US dollars, about $550. For the plain colors, they also have a couple of different designs you can choose from. Now that seems like a hefty price tag, but when you're comparing it to the Shoei Neotech 2, which has been out for about 4 years, that one still comes in around $800. So this is much cheaper. And included in your helmet purchase, you get your pin lock anti-fog lens, which is a really good deal when you think about it. These things are usually like $25, $30, sometimes a little bit more, depending on the helmet that you buy. Now, the reason I stopped using my i90 as much as I used to is because it is a fairly loud helmet when it comes down to it, and a lot of these different modulars can be loud because of the way they are designed. It would also kind of like pull on my head a little bit, like in higher speeds and whatnot, just because it's probably not the most aerodynamic shell out there. Overall, it's a good helmet. It comes in around $200 unless you're buying the Harley branded versions of these, which Harley likes to use these for all of their different helmets. Actually, their 120th anniversary helmet, that's like $400 or something, is a 4-year-old i90. Like, there you go. Just keep that in mind when you're paying for it. You can buy these for about $200 without the Harley branding, $350, $400 with the Harley branding, depending on what you get on there. So I did really like this helmet, and it definitely served its purpose while I had it. I still pop it on every now and then and go for rides. But overall, like it just hasn't been as good as, like, you know, my newer helmets have been. So that's why I leaned more towards getting a newer modular. I tend to like the HJCs, so that is how I ended up here. Now, just so you're aware, there's going to be a series of videos with this helmet. This one is just going to be a general breakdown of the helmet and how it looks, you know, out of the box and the features that it has. The next one will be like a setup of like what I'm using for like my motovlog setup for 2023, my comm system and all that fun stuff. And then we'll do a ride review with it, and then we'll do a long-term review with it, which will come later in the year. So just to let you know, we're not going to be hopping out on the bike with this today. This is just a breakdown. So some of the first things you can see on this helmet is it has quite a few vents up front, and this is really awesome. I enjoy this. So first off, there's this huge paddle vent on the top. It is open and close. I love this because when you're wearing gloves, if you're not wearing gloves, if you're doing like, you know, 120 down the highway, it doesn't matter. This is as easy as just bam. Little karate chop, the thing is open. You don't have to mess with any little triggers. There's not multiple ports where you have to hit both of them. It is just there. It is ready to go. It also has these two eyebrow vents. These are cool because what these are doing are actually pushing air down to the front of the lens, helping it to keep clear so it's not fogging up. And then you have this front paddle one, which same thing, just a nice click. It is easy to get to, nothing complicated. On the back, you have a couple exhausts. This exhaust opens and closes, so if you want your helmet to be a little bit more warm when you're riding in the cooler seasons, you can just close that up. You also have some here, and you have some discharge vents down here. So this is a very well ventilated helmet, but at the same time, it is designed to be very, very quiet. I'm sure you can see, like, you know, the design on the side of the helmet. This is just designed to deflect air all the way around. And we'll get into that a little bit more when we go inside the helmet. Now, some of the other stuff that you're gonna see is when this helmet opens up, one little trigger right there, it actually stays very close to the helmet. That's because this chin bar is on a dual axis. So what it's doing is it's moving up and moving back at the same time to stay very tight to the helmet. You can actually see right there, it's not popping up too much. That is so you can ride this with the chin bar open if you so choose. Another great feature about that is it's got this little lock here where you can actually lock the chin bar, so it's not just gonna slam down on you or go crazy. You hit this little button here, it starts closing again. Part of this as well is this chin curtain. If you notice when it's up, it looks like it's kind of sticking out, it's spring loaded. That's so like when you're opening it, it's not like dragging across your face or dragging across your face when you're closing it and getting it kind of stuck upwards. I know people who are using chin curtains know what I'm talking about. You know, you put down your helmet and then you kind of gotta like pull it down under your chin and whatnot when it's sitting close to your face. So yeah, that's a bit of an annoyance. That opens up, that is great. This is a very nice premium feeling helmet. HJC is using a proprietary blend on the shell, so it has a couple different materials in there, including carbon fiber, that make it very strong, but also pretty damn light. As I said earlier, the medium weighs in at about 3.8 pounds. This probably, you know, a couple ounces more because it is a larger shell, but overall, compared to my i90, this is lighter, and I am going to be quite excited to be riding with this helmet altogether. Another thing that this has, obviously because it's a modular, little trigger here, has this drop-down visor. Now the cool thing about this drop-down visor, go ahead and move my lazy Susan over, pull out my helmet donut, is right here. You've got this panel. This panel is actually used for the integrated comm system. They use Senecom, so I won't be purchasing that because, well, I am all about my Cardo. That's to come later, but nonetheless, you pull this panel off, kind of pushes. Why won't come off? There we go. Pull that panel off, slides down. You've got this little trigger system right here. Now this trigger system, as long as your tinted visor is up, actually has 3 different adjustments. And what that's going to do is move the tinted lens either further or closer to you. So it'll move a little bit down and a little more forward, or it'll move back and a little more up. So you can actually adjust it so it is comfortable for you. So it's not hitting the bridge of your nose or anything like that, and it's not allowing a lot of light leak between that and the breath guard that is in there. So that is a nice little feature. I very much enjoy that, and I have not seen that on another helmet. So good on HJC for really like going all out on that. Now another thing you're going to notice, aside from the straps that are using the traditional D-ring, it has a very, very plush neck liner. The great thing about that is a nice plush neck liner is going to create a nice seal around the neck and the chin. It's going to help to keep air out, so you're going to have a much quieter ride. I am all about that. That is fantastic. Inside the helmet, let's see if we can pop in there real quick. Let's open up a few things here. There we go. Inside the helmet, on both sides, you actually have these nice little filler plates. So what these are used for is there are little pods for you to put your speakers if you're using a comm system or anything like that. If you're not using that comm system, you leave these in and it'll fill in that open space, so you don't have that open air around your ears that's going to make things louder for you. So that is very thoughtful. I know a lot of helmets are starting to do that, especially on the premium line, so that's a cool one to see. I'll be using those speaker pods, so this probably won't come in much use for me, but that's one of those things to be aware of, especially if you are just buying this helmet for this helmet and nothing else, nothing special. That is a nice little feature. All right, now I know I have the label on here still. Actually, let me peel that off. And without that label, you see that there is a nice wide field of view. So you're gonna have a really good shot of what's here and here. So that is awesome because, you know, you wanna make sure you don't have that many blind spots, especially when you're on a bike and you're trying not to die. The other cool thing is something that HJC's done forever now, which is they have their quick release on the visor. So if you ever need to swap this out for any reason, it's a trigger right here and you just pop it and it's gonna come right off. And then it just pops right back on. No tools, no keeping track of screws, nothing like that. It just pops in and out. That is fantastic. Overall, I am so impressed with this helmet. I cannot wait to get on the road with this helmet because the features are just fantastic. I can't wait to load this up with my motovlog gear, see if like my mic sounds a little bit better, and just, you know, put the miles down with this thing because like I said, I have been following this one for a few months now. I have been dying to see this come to the States. It finally did come to the States. If you are in the States or Canada and you've happened to follow this helmet as well, you'll know that there's a color called anthracite. Don't get your hopes up if you like that color. Through like digging and research and phone calls and emails, I found that there are only 2 major helmet distributors in the US, and one of them didn't order anthracite as a color and the other one did order it, but they haven't received any stock or supply. My helmet had actually been on back order for about 2 months because I couldn't get the anthracite one I wanted. As soon as I switched to titanium, got it in like 2 days. It was crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and try this helmet on so you can kind of see how it looks. How's my hair? The visor's still out of the socket. I didn't put it back in, but whatever. give you an idea. So if you want to ride around like a nerd with your visor up, this is what you're gonna look like. And then you can bring it down. Locks right into place. Now that is another cool thing that I do want to show you that I think a lot of modulars tend to miss is if you look here, all the parts are metal. Like the mechanism inside, the chambers here, it's metal. And they also have these nice retracting plates. So when your helmet is up, you don't have all these weird holes or whatnot. It is nice and streamlined. They want you to have a good looking helmet. And I very much appreciate that. There's a lot of thought and a lot of time and a lot of effort and refinement that have been put into this helmet, and I can't wait to put it to the test. All right, guys, that's what I have. What do you think? Is this a helmet you'd be interested in? Are you just gonna stick with whatever you have? Are you waiting for something else to come out? Throw it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. And like I said, keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing a series on this helmet because even though I will be wearing my Rorock 4.0 this year, I'm probably going to be way more all in on this one. And honestly, it was just, I missed having a modular helmet. One of the things is like, you know, if I'm riding with people that don't have comms or something, if we're at a red light, we need to talk real quick, you know, flip up the front. I'm not trying to yell over a chin bar and stuff like that. That was probably the biggest reason. The other thing is, if you notice when I put on this helmet, I put it on with it open. Way more comfortable than trying to, like, you know, go through like the birthing canal of like a full helmet. That's never been comfortable. I've had full face helmets for years, never been comfortable. Modular has been great for that, and I look forward to going back to a modular for that as a reason. That's what I got. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dork you know who's like, I don't wear helmets at all, my skull's super strong. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see you all on the flip side.